Artificial intelligence has existed in some form since 1955 when the first AI program, Logical Theorist, was invented. What we're looking at today looks far different than that and has understandably overwhelmed many of us, raising concerns of ethics and privacy. But we're only just being introduced to the many forms AI can take in our day-to-day lives, if not all of it for the better. Toward the tail end of 2022, a wave of criticism hit the internet as several AI art generators became popularized. Tools like DALL-E 2 and Stable Diffusion essentially operate to create original art pieces in mere moments, the result of algorithmic learning. AI art generators learn through developers connecting their base software to enormous databases of reference images. By having access to hundreds of thousands of images from all over the web, the AI program is able to piece together unique images to match a user's request. The issues with AI art are twofold. First, is AI art to begin with, or is it technology that can be used to replace artists? Secondly is the issue of ownership. If a program like DALL-E is trained to make original images from the pool of images fed into it, where do those images come from? For professional and freelance artists alike, the idea of a computer program pulling apart their artwork with little to no work is frustrating. In fall 2022, a man made headlines after winning an art competition with AI-generated art. Jason M. Allen had entered his piece into the digital art category at the Colorado State Fair's annual art competition. Allen has since defended his victory, reminding critics that he broke no stated rules against using AI, and he had correctly credited his piece as being made through the program mid-journey. The ensuing discussion is whether or not AI tools can be helpful aids for artists and creatives, or if they're detrimental to art. Allen had begun seriously looking into AI as a business means. He runs a tabletop game studio called Incarnate Games and wanted to see if AI art could be used to forego having to commission artwork. What happens when the art buying market is flooded with AI-generated products? Popular digital artist Loish plugged her own name into an AI generator to see what it could produce, and while the results weren't spectacular, it does beg the question of who out there will commodify these generators to steal revenue from well-established creators online. Some people are finding that these AI programs are producing results that leave artists' signatures in the finished product. A Twitch streamer was creating a digital painting on their live stream when someone took a screenshot of the unfinished work, plugged it into an AI program, and finished it before the artist could. Another issue with popular AI art generators is bias. Heather Tal Murphy from Slate magazine conducted an impromptu study after realizing that her AI prompt for an elderly couple holding hands had yielded 25 white couples and no non-white couples. After adding the descriptor of poor, Murphy got her first brown couple. With further input, she was able to get more racially diverse results, but between the 5 different AI programs tested, none naturally produced much diversity. Popular AI-powered app Lensa takes user selfies and creates stylized artworks out of them. The app became a popular trend across social media as users realized they could spend only a few dollars to receive hundreds of original art pieces of themselves. Some, however, had no choice but to become familiar with the evident biases present in the program. One woman described making purchases on the app for her family to have fun with, only to discover that the app performed beautifully on her white husband and mixed-race son, but not herself, a dark-skinned woman. Some of her results, the AI had actually transformed her into a white woman, or had made her features distinctly European in appearance. Other black women have also commented on the issue, with one woman going to Twitter to show how the Lensa app turned her into a slave. More users have criticized the app for lightening their skin, inaccurately depicting their race, or for changing the shape of their bodies. A writer from Wired reported that she uploaded a childhood photo of herself to the app and received seductive photos of herself in response. But let's put a pin in that topic for now. While Lensa is an app that can be easily avoided by users, other AI-powered systems are far less successfully avoided. Amazon once attempted to build a resume screening tool using AI programming. This attempt failed once it became apparent that AI had learned to discriminate against women, due to the majority of positive examples it had learned from being male-submitted applications. This principle remains in action for the majority of AI and similarly algorithmically learned programs being used today. The tech industry lacks much diversity in terms of race and gender, resulting in AI programs that discriminate against people of color and women. The reality is that these programs are being designed by people without people of color in mind, meaning some programs simply don't recognize dark-skinned people or women at disproportionate rates. Systemically speaking, these programs exist across a number of fields, affecting the job market, the housing market, and the banking system. Most critically, this barrier exists in programs utilized by police. Facial recognition systems are being utilized by police around the country to identify suspects, but the group already most vulnerable to being scrutinized by the police is also the most likely to be misidentified. Across the board, these programs appear to learn familiar biases against people of color. ChatGPT has come under fire for promoting racially motivated materials to users, and a resource app called ImageNet Roulette identifies people of color exclusively by race instead of by personable descriptors as it's designed to assign. All of these issues raise critical concerns over privacy, as well as the systemic nature of racism in American culture. Now let's unpin that other thing. Another mounting issue of privacy wrought by AI is the growing market of deepfakes. Deepfakes are the culmination of complex and advanced programming efforts to teach AI programs to learn deeply. Deepfake has come to refer to pornographic videos that dynamically map a person's face onto another person's body. Originating on the social media platform Reddit as an upload of a pornographic video that appeared to be of actress Gal Gadot, the trend soon went viral online. Now, a huge market exists for deepfake porn videos, and huge concerns over privacy are being raised by women. The pre-existing market for pornography has already been riddled with consent and ethical issues, but deepfakes take the matter to an extreme new level. Now, women can have their identities virtually stolen and used to create pornographic content that they may not know exists of them. Virtual strangers or exploiters get to profit monetarily off of unsuspecting victims as a result of this model, and demand is only increasing. What's worse is that the legality of these situations is murky at best and non-existent at worst, as many websites won't remove the videos, or if they are removed, they can easily be re-uploaded somewhere else. Less than 5 states have legislation against the use of deepfakes, meaning most victims are unable to properly ascertain help. A popular Twitch streamer called QT Cinderella is just one victim of deepfake content, the content in stark contrast to her relatively tame baking and video gaming content. She is far from the only streamer to face this growing issue of explicit AI-generated photos and videos being published by bad actors. The most insidious use of deepfake porn, however, is its proliferation as a form of domestic violence. California is one of the few states to have a legal framework against deepfakes, with an emphasis on how it is used to blackmail and threaten women. Men can threaten to post explicit content of women they may or may not be romantically involved with by simply having enough photos of them, and women have to contend with having few resources to do anything about it. Women who have deepfakes made of them have their consent removed, their reputation diminished, can face serious repercussions in their careers, not even mentioning the emotional distress and stress caused by the ordeal. How can we even begin to address these issues? Currently, global conversation is opening up to discuss how to best deal with AI regulations. Representatives in Parliament in the UK want companies to have to abide by 5 principles regarding security: safety, security, and robustness, transparency and explainability, fairness, accountability and governance, and contestability and redress. Bill H.R. 2330 was introduced to the House of Representatives back in 2019 to require digital watermarks and disclosure agreements into the creation of deepfake video content, but has not seen progress since. More recently, California State Representative Tim Liu has raised concerns over the need for regulations over AI, touching on issues of credibility, racial discrimination, and the AI algorithm that propagate extremism. There are groups and individuals seeking to raise awareness to these issues and implement changes. A group of artists have filed a lawsuit against the art-sharing website DeviantArt and 2 AI companies to combat their work being used without their consent. Likewise, there are efforts to remove and reform facial recognition, meaning addressing biases in making the program, biases in training the program, and biased usage of the programs. These are all invaluable conversations to be having, and the effect to which we, the everyday person, can do our due diligence is to be aware of these issues and learn how to responsibly use or decline to use AI programs in our day-to-day lives.